Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, where our goal is to expand your focus and perspective on life. This is your daily dose of motivation, mindfulness, and so much more. And now, here to help you take your day back, your host, Dan Hafner.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into another episode of the Run Your Day podcast. As always, Dan Hafner joining you here today. It is Monday morning, my friends. Wake up. It's a great day. I love Mondays. I'm so weird about that, but I do. I really genuinely love Mondays. It's weird. I know. I get it. Anyway, welcome into this week of the show. It is the last week of March, my friends. Can you believe it? Today's topic is this: what do you really prefer? Thank you for joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode today. So, I'm going to talk about preferences today, and kind of just wanted to preface this with this past weekend was the opening weekend of the NCAA March Madness tournament, the men's tournament, right? And whether you watched all the games or you don't care about basketball or anything, I think this is a very applicable little parable here, because as I watched some of the games, I'm a big Kentucky fan, so Kentucky made the Sweet 16, so that was awesome. But the more I watched some of these games, I used to be very, very into sports. Like, sports were my life. Played football, played baseball, played basketball, even played in college at the Division III level. Like, I did a lot of different things. And, sports used to be like what I was all about. My head revolved around the sports. I structured my year around, the sports schedule. Like, that was just my thing. That was like what I was interested in, right? And I guess I'm kind of noticing the older I get, and I mean, I'm not that old right now. I'm going to be 29 this summer, but the older I get and the more I do outside of that, the less I kind of prefer to spend my time watching sports, right? Like, I just kind of find myself not as interested, like not as invested, not as like diehard of a fan as maybe I used to be. And for a while I felt guilty about this. I felt like, well, I feel like I'm slacking. I feel like I'm not doing my fanly duty, right, of cheering on my team, of wearing their jersey, of like getting all dressed up and hyped up for the game and stuff. And then I started to realize, like, over time your preferences will change in life. Like, the things that you're into today, you might not be into a year from now. You might not be into a month from now, right? Like, our lives kind of move in cycles. Like you might be in a cycle where you are just getting out of college and you are trying to find different things that you like to do because you identified with sports, or you identified with music, or you identified with something else. And you might be in a place where you're trying to find that thing that you prefer. You're trying to find something that is your thing, right? Whether it's fitness or yoga or your job, or like whatever it is, right? You might be in a phase in life where you're kind of maybe like me, where you're kind of moving around in business, in life, and you're kind of just trying to figure out where you fit in, where you belong. You don't really know what your preferences are yet. Maybe you're starting to have kids, and then those are, that whole phase of your life is causing you to be, prefer different things and have to do different things. Maybe you're at a phase in your life where you're older and your kids are out of the house, and you're trying to find different hobbies to take up your time to do different things, right? We all are at different phases of our life, and it kind of dictates what you prefer. Now, there's other things about where you live, and if you live in the city versus the country, or if you're income levels, whatever. Like we all have different preferences. But the point is that I'm trying to make today is this: we all prefer certain things, and it's guaranteed to change over time. Like, it's just guaranteed to change over time. There might be something that you find you do prefer and you like and you actually stay interested in for your entire life. And that's great. But there will always be different things that you start to get more interested in, that you start to prefer more than you would think so. Like, even something as simple as like toast or pancakes, right? Like, maybe you grew up loving blueberry pancakes and now all you eat is just regular. Like, you just prefer that. Or you prefer, peanut butter on your toast now instead of just butter on your toast. Like, something as simple as that. I know it's a stupid example, but maybe you have always loved lifting weights and now you just love surfing or running or skateboarding or like whatever it is. But the point I'm trying to get across to you guys today is that your preference will change over time. Your preferences will change over time, and it's okay. Like, that's part of life. Life is cycles, right? And if you find yourself feeling guilty or disconnected or like shameful that you're not into what you used to be into as much, like, it's okay. It's okay, because I'm going through that right now with sports. Like, I used to be very big into like bowl season and March Madness and just like a whole bunch of different things. I used to just watch SportsCenter for like hours when I was a kid, and it doesn't really do it for me all that much anymore, right? And I got stuck in this like phase of feeling guilty for a while, and I started to realize like it's okay. Like you start to prefer different things as your life goes on, and it's perfectly fine. So my question for you as we wrap up today is this: where in your life have you noticed that you're starting to just prefer different things? Like, are you preferring, a different fitness routine? Do you prefer a different form of communication within your relationship? Do you prefer to spend your weekends differently? Do you prefer a different type of restaurant or food? Like, whatever it is, like, identify that area, like, where in your life are you starting to like just be more, or your preferences are just changing? And take a step back and notice, like, are you okay with that? Like, take a step back from that new preference that you have and be like, okay, am I okay with this? Or is this something that I'm like forcing upon myself, right? Because once you start to accept the fact that like it's okay that this preference is changing in your life, you'll be that much more enthusiastic about it and that much more willing to just go all in on it, right? Like, once I took a step back from realizing like it's okay to not be super into March Madness, like, I feel a lot better. I mean, I've still been watching it, but not as much. I'm not getting as into it as I have been. So that's my challenge for you guys today. So find a place in your life where your preferences are changing, or you're starting to maybe notice something that you might feel guilty about, and take a step back from it and think about whether it's okay to start doing that or not. So that's going to wrap up today's show. As always, thank you all for joining. Really appreciate you guys coming on here every single day and listening. Always head over to the Facebook page or like us on Twitter at RunYourDay1. As always, thank you all for joining. Really appreciate you guys here. I got some big news here coming up the rest of the week, so stay tuned for that. Until then, get after it today. Dan Hafner signing off. Make it a great rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.